Good morning everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching InFocus by Drishti IAS. In this episode, we will be discussing about a drug that is Donanemab. This is a drug which is related to Alzheimer's disease and it has been in news recently because FDA of USA has given approval for that. Okay, so let's start our discussion. FDA approval for new Alzheimer's drug that is Donanemab. Okay, so we will talk about that. In our discussions, we will start with the news first, okay? Then we will move towards the Alzheimer's disease. We'll talk about what is Alzheimer's disease, what are the causes which are related to it, what are the symptoms which are related to it, and then we'll come to the overview of Donanemab, okay? We'll talk about that, then we will go to the side effects of it, and then there will be a prelims practice question for you in the last, okay? So let's start with the news. As I told you, there was a FDA approval which has been given. So here you can see a new Alzheimer's drug, US expert panel green lights FDA approval for Donanemab. Earlier also there was this time when they have asked for the approval for Donanemab, but there were some side effects and they have actually gone for creation of a panel and that panel has given a green light, and now US Federal Drugs Authority actually has given the approval over here, okay? So what news here is that the recent unanimous decision by a committee of independent advisor to FDA to approve Eli Lilly's Donanemab for Alzheimer's treatment marks a significant milestone. Despite the modest benefits and the potential risks, experts agree that any improvement in cognitive decline for Alzheimer's patient is valuable. Okay, when we are talking about Alzheimer's, we have very limited idea about the cause and how it is working and what can be the treatment, etc. Okay, when we are talking about Alzheimer's, we know that there is no cure for Alzheimer's as of now. Okay, so here expert has said that if there is any kind of improvement which helps you stop your help you decrease the speed of decline in the memory, so that is a significant step. Despite there are certain side effects, they have gone for the approval of this drug. Okay, now coming to the Alzheimer's. When we are talking about Alzheimer is a brain condition wherein you will be facing difficulty in recalling something from your memory. Okay, so such condition is basically Alzheimer's. Okay, generally it is also related with dementia. Okay, so when we are talking about dementia, dementia is a broader term under which Alzheimer's is there, because for dementia there can be various causes. One of the cause is Alzheimer's. Okay, so here you can say it is a brain condition that cause a progressive decline in the memory, thinking, learning and organizing skills. Okay, so basically what we are saying is that there is a progressive decline in all these skills, that is memory, thinking, learning and organizing. Okay, it is the most common type of dementia. As I told you, dementia is a broader term. Okay, that is dementia, and within which we have Alzheimer's. Okay, that is accounting for nearly 60 to 80% of the cases. Okay, it involves part of brain that controls thought, memory and language. The condition usually affects people of the age that they are 65 and above, but there in rare cases, or you can say nearly 10% of the cases, you can find that there are chances it will impact a younger person as well. Okay, what are the causes? When we are talking about the causes, there are very limited information available. We do not know the exact cause of dementia. What we know is that that can be because of the genetic factors, environmental factors or things related to your lifestyle. Okay, so that is about the causes which are related to Alzheimer's. Now coming to the symptoms of Alzheimer, as I told you, this is a progressive decline of the memory. Okay, so before going to the symptoms, I will tell you what is happening inside your brain when we are talking about Alzheimer's. Okay, so this is normal brain. Okay, here you have different parts over here. Cerebral cortex is there, hippocampus is there. Okay, and this is how it looks. Okay, then in brain, you know that there is a neural network and that neurons are basically responsible for transmitting the signals, etc. Okay, so a healthy neuron looks something like this. Okay, now in the case of Alzheimer's, what will happen is that the structure of this brain will somehow get manipulated over here, or you can say there are certain changes which are happening inside your brain. You will see that the cerebral cortex and the hippocampus, they will see a shrinkage. Okay, so shrinkage of cerebral cortex. Okay, here you can see this is getting shrink, and then shrinkage of hippocampus. Okay, so these shrinkage will be there, and there are certain areas which get enlarged. Okay, like that is ventricles. Okay, inside the brain we have ventricles and they get enlarged. So basically here you can see that the shape of the brain or the organs which are inside the brains, they are actually getting affected because of it. Okay, now in the neuron, what will change here, you can see there will be some kind of tanglement will be there. Okay, and then here you can see there is a deposit of A beta plaques. Okay, so these beta plaques are basically proteins. Okay, here you can see there is this deposits of these proteins are there. Okay, now this is basically the cause which is hampering the working of neurons and ultimately causing the Alzheimer's. Okay, So that is about it. Now coming to the symptoms, here you can see a person will be confused with the normal day-to-day tasks. Okay, he will be confused in the problem solving, etc. So here you can say confusion with the time and locations. There will be a difficulty in solving small problems like what is 1 plus 1, what is 1 plus 2. Okay, other than that, difficulty completing familiar tasks which you are doing on the daily basis, misplacing items, memory loss will be there, unfound emotions you will feel, poor judgment, trouble with image and spaces, and difficulty with the words, withdrawal from the social interactions and the activities. Okay, so basically these are the symptoms. Okay, now moving further, if we see, we will talk about the overview of Donanemab. As I told you, this is the drug which has been approved. Okay, now Donanemab, like its predecessor, this is lecanemab and Donanemab. These are the drugs for Alzheimer's. When we are talking about these two drugs, these are monoclonal antibodies targeting amyloid beta plaques. As I told you, that is A beta plaques, that is amyloid beta plaques in the brains, a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease visible through imaging techniques. Okay, when we are going for the MRI, etc., you will be able to see the deposition of these AB plaques over there, and that is why so that is A beta plaques. Okay, the class of drugs including FDA approved 𝐏𝐤 and 𝐏𝐿. These are other drugs which are already available in the after approval of the FDA. Okay, the drugs has generated much excitement as it slows the cognitive decline. We have seen that the basic you can say reason behind the Alzheimer's, or you can say when we talk about the basic symptoms, that basic symptoms behind the Alzheimer is that you will be losing your memory, there will be a decline in the cognitive powers. Okay, so basically this drug is making sure that that decline is slowed down, or you can say the speed of that decline or loss of memory is slowed down. Okay, less frequent administration, because this is the new drug. When we compare with the lecanemab, there are less doses which are to be given. Now moving further, there are certain clinical trials which has happened. We know that there are different phases of trial. They have gone for this much of patients and they have shown 35.1% reduction in the cognitive decline over 76 weeks. Okay, so that is the result. You can say they in 76 weeks it is slowing the speed nearly 35.1%. Okay, and that is happening in the early stage. So the thing is, if you identify at the early stage, so there are chances that you can slow down the process. Okay, benefits assesses through the memory and the motor skills, improve daily activities, but does not cure Alzheimer's. As I told you, till now we don't have a cure for Alzheimer's. Now coming to the side effects, there are certain side effects, and main concern here is the amyloid related imaging abnormalities. Okay, as I told you, these amyloid beta plaques are basically getting some kind of protein which is getting deposited inside your brain, and in MRI it will be visible. So there are certain issues related to it, and they are saying that with use of this particular drug there are chances that this can happen. So in this particular thing there can be brain swelling and brain bleeding. Okay, so 24% chances are there that you will feel you will have a brain swelling, and 19.7% chances are there you will have a brain bleeding. Despite all these things, they have said that if there is an improvement, we should go for that particular chance. Okay, now this amyloid related imaging abnormalities, when we are talking about ARIA, these are abnormal differences seen in the MRI of the brain of the patients in the Alzheimer's. Okay, now coming to the need of such diverse treatment. As I told you, we are not aware of the cause, we don't have a treatment, so obviously R&D is necessary when we are talking about the Alzheimer's. Okay, significant benefits observed in the early stage. Okay, if we are diagnosing Alzheimer's at the early stage, there are chances that we can slow it down. So that is why you should have different R&D in the different treatment techniques, etc. Okay, now Alzheimer's disease requires multiple therapeutic modalities at different stages. Emphasis on the holistic approach to treatment. Okay, right now when we are talking about there are 3-4 drugs, we need a holistic approach for that. Okay, requires validated diagnostic tools and specialized expertise at the primary care level, and adds to the overall cost of the treatment, because there are very less R&D which available, and that is why cost of these treatments are high. To make them affordable, it is need that we go for diverse treatment modalities. Okay, now last part, that is basically your prelims related MCQ. Before telling that, we have discussed the symptoms of Alzheimer's, we have talked about Alzheimer's. For your prelims, Alzheimer and the symptoms are important, and the names of the drugs are important for you. Okay, so that is about it. Now prelims questions. Recently Donanemab has been in news. It is a pain relief medication A monoclonal antibody targeting amyloid beta plaques in the brain, a type of chemotherapy drug, a vaccine for Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so you can attempt this question and answer in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. If you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe it. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.